G'day Star Wars fans, welcome to RedLeaderOne. Today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the rise of Skywalker. Now I got to see it Thursday morning on opening day here in Australia. I took my 7-year-old son to go see it. Now this is his first Star Wars film. Up until then he was not really a Star Wars fan until the first trailer for the film dropped, and since then he's been absolutely crazy about it. Now both of us walked out of the movie theatre, big smile on our faces, really enjoyed it. I actually quite love the film. I'm really wrapped on the way JJ, what he did to the film. Now I know it's got its critics. I know the film isn't perfect, but I think the main thing for me was to be able to walk out of the movie theatre with my young son and to say that we both enjoyed it. Now I asked my young son what he liked about the Rise of Skywalker. What was his favourite part? He said all of it, so that gave me a big smile on my face. So my initial thoughts on the film is that I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It made me feel quite happy and also made me quite sad in some parts of the film. It also made me feel the same way I did when I watched Return of the Jedi back in the 80s, knowing that was the last of the Skywalker saga, so I feel a little bit weird, lost in a way. I'm not too sure if that's the same for you guys as well, but I do know in 3 years' time we have a new trilogy of films. Well, I'm kind of hoping that Disney stay with the trilogy form, so at least I've got a bit of hope for the future. And also we've got the Disney Plus TV series that are going to be shown on Disney Plus: Mandalorian, Kenobi, Cassian Andor series. So we've also got the new season 7 of Clone Wars next year, and other stuff that I assume that Disney have planned for us. But if anything, I could say that was something I dislike about the film, which are probably minor little things, like for instance the major battle in the end. I would have loved to have seen the Star Destroyers make it into orbit and to see a major fleet battle. We did see X-Wings and stuff like that fight against and destroy the Star Destroyers, but I would have probably something like Rogue One, Return of the Jedi type of battle. But, you know, that's just a little issue, which is not too fussy, I guess. But the film itself was fantastic. To sit down there to watch a Star Wars film these days and see the CGI, the graphics, the explosions, the battles and the lasers was really, really good. The battles themselves were quite intense. Really enjoyed the lightsaber battles between Rey and Kylo Ren were fantastic. We got to see a couple of new Force powers, which one was hinted at in the Mandalorian with the Baby Yoda, the Force healing, which is quite new, I guess. I thought that was quite well done. We do know that Jedi are unique. Each Jedi has a different Force ability, and looks like that's one that Rey has, and the same with Ben Solo, and obviously the Baby Yoda. We also got a new Force power where an object can be transferred to a different location to another Jedi, and that scene was with Rey and Ben Solo with the lightsaber when Ben was surrounded by the Knights of Ren, and when he reached behind his head and pulled out the lightsaber, that was really cool. And I love the little shrug he gives, like Han Solo, and the Knights of Ren all kind of stood back and went, "Oh no," realizing that they were obviously in a bit of trouble then. Another really cool scene in the film. I'm not too sure if you guys really picked it up, but I'm glad they really focused on it. It was when Kylo Ren, or I should say Ben Solo, came to help Rey when he had the Imperial TIE Fighter, which he got from the wreckage of the Death Star. You had the X-Wing Red 5 that Rey flew to the planet, parked there, and Ben Solo parked the Imperial TIE Fighter right next to it, and as Ben Solo ran past, the camera panned back to the two ships, and you just for a moment had a look at two classic ships that battled against each other in the original trilogy, the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing, which was really good. I actually really enjoyed seeing Red 5 flying around again. I saw Rey flying that, I just had a massive grin on my face. Really loved that bit as well. The Death Star wreckage was cool. The very beginning with Kylo Ren searching for this new power source, this new voice that was coming out of the unknown regions, Palpatine, was really good. I love that. I love the escape scene at the start with the Falcon with Poe and Finn. They were doing those real micro jumps to get away from the First Order TIE fighters. Was really, really cool. Palpatine, I really enjoyed seeing Palpatine again. I don't have an issue about him coming back. I thought that was really cool, and to hear his voice again was awesome. Just in that sound in the cinema. Rey, how cool was it just to hear all the Jedi voices? Rise, Rey, get up, Rey. Yoda, we got no Ezra, we got Ahsoka, Kanan. We got all these the Jedi we've heard before. That was really, really cool. And I think people who have an issue with Rey defeating Palpatine, I don't think Rey defeated Palpatine on his own. It was all the Jedi that all the Jedi before her, all their energy was helping Rey defeat Palpatine in the end. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I came out, if a film has that certain effect on me, then I know this film is good, and it was for me. I know there's, I don't think Disney or Lucasfilm could not get anything right. Anything they do, they're always going to have their haters. You got people who love The Last Jedi who are hating on The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not saying everyone from the people who like The Last Jedi are hating The Rise of Skywalker. Some people are. Then you got the people who hated The Last Jedi are still hating on The Rise of Skywalker. But then you have the people in the middle, like myself and others, who love all Star Wars. I didn't like The Last Jedi, but I love The Rise of Skywalker. And I can't wait to see more. And if anything can come out of this, I hope Disney sit down with Lucasfilm and they plan the new trilogy out a lot better than what they did. I don't think they did this with this trilogy. I think they had a plan, but with all those directors quitting and being fired and stuff like that, I think it just went out the window at some stage. But hopefully in the next trilogy it's worked out better. Hopefully it can bring back the fans. It was a funny quote. I watched this the other day on a YouTube channel who did a review. They said they didn't need Rise of Skywalker to save Star Wars. Baby Yoda has already done that, which is pretty cool. So, but like I said, I really enjoyed it. I put The Rise of Skywalker third on my list at the moment. The top 6 could change all the time. Empire is always going to be number 1, no doubts. 2 to 6, they could swap around. I think that's the same with most Star Wars fans with their rankings of films. They could swap around where they are on their listings and stuff like that. But I'll quickly read out my listings. Star Wars movies. Number 1, I have Empire Strikes Back. Number 2 is Return of the Jedi. Number 3 is The Rise of Skywalker. Number 4 is A New Hope. Number 5 is The Force Awakens. Number 6 is Rogue One. Number 7, Revenge of the Sith. Number 8, Solo. Number 9, The Last of the Jedi. Number 10, Attack of the Clones. Number 11, The Phantom Menace. So that's my listing, but that could change. But I definitely need to go out and see The Rise of Skywalker again. But I loved it. I thought it was great, and that's all that counts, really. If you love the film, that's great. If you hated the film, that's great. That's your problem, I guess. But I just wish this division between fans would go away. It's it's absolutely crazy to see what goes on Twitter, especially with the people who are trying to spoil it for people. But then again, if you don't want to be spoiled, you should have stayed off of the internet leading up to the film. So, but there you go. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved the film. I put it in my top 3 at the moment. Look forward to the next trilogy in the next 3 years. I can't wait to find out what it's going to be about. Hopefully, I'm kind of keen of doing the Old Republic. I've never been a big fan of it, but I'm really, I wouldn't mind to see the Old Republic. That'll look pretty cool. So, but yeah, there you go. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Drop a comment down below, hit that like button, share this video, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you, and may the Force be with you always.